Connie, wow, I didn't even realize this is how far we've come. What's the question?
So it's an interesting question, and it picks up from the previous conversation in the previous episode. Is there a relationship between image and spirituality?
You know, I was hoping we were going to get to this somewhere in the other questions, but at least, hey, we're here now, so we might as well talk about it. And in the last video, you know, you mentioned something very important because the last video was on how we handle challenges, right? How we deal with setbacks. And you mentioned this, you brought about this interesting point of, you know, being grounded or being anchored in your faith or or having a spirituality to what it is that you're doing. I would have to agree, and this is an interesting discussion because, like you know, most people who we consult for, the teams that we engage, it's not a topic that comes up in any of our training sessions, right? We don't exactly go out and say, you know what, you need to go to church or you need to go to the mosque or any of those things. But the fact of the matter is, if you don't have some level of faith, something that, and I like to encourage people to have some level of spirituality because number one, it allows you to quiet the noise. And I'm a big advocate of meditation. Just being able to sit and reflect. You know, you've mentioned in other videos how important it is to sit and reflect because the world is so fast. You know, we're dealing with so many things, deadlines, bills, pressure, all these things, breakups, relationships, what, all the drama that is in the world. Sometimes you need to take a step back. And what I believe having faith does is it helps nurture your spirit. In fact, if you look at some of the books that have been written, or some of the bestsellers on highly effective people, you know, the 7 habits and all of those things, they mention buckets. They mention the spiritual bucket, the mental, the physical, and the emotional. You cannot develop fully, holistically as a human being without paying attention to the spirit. And the spiritual aspect is one, you know, we're not talking about religion. I'm Muslim, you're Christian, right? True. We get along and we do what we need to do, but whatever you choose to do in your quiet time, however you choose to reflect, if you choose to go to church, if I choose to go to mosque, as long as I'm taking time to just say, you know what, all this drama, all this pressure, let me look inward, let me reflect, let me have a connection to the universe so that I can be more solid, you know, because so many things are going to batter you around, and if your spirit is not at peace, then you will deal. You won't be able to deal. You won't manage. You know. So for me, having that ability to have quiet time is so important. I think the next aspect of spirituality is have some kind of a manual or a guideline, some guiding principles. If we are willing to be guided by humanity and morality and ethics, all of us as human beings have this intrinsic measure of what is moral, what is ethical, what is correct. But again, remember what we said in one of the other videos. In order for me to have soft skills and etiquette, I must accept that I am different from you and you are different from me. So what you believe is correct and what I believe is correct might be different. But if I have my set of manuals, of a manual or something that can inform me that, you know what, this is how to deal with humanity. At least then I have an anchor and I have a basis. This is how to deal when things go wrong. These are the sort of things that you should do when things go wrong. If you don't have that level of manual, whether it's Buddhism, whatever it is, whatever you believe is your manual, pick a manual, follow it, have something that grounds you, because the world out here is not just for the body and not just for the mind, and not just about emotions. Your spirit, the soul, the thing that is inside you that is moving around, that we have to then package and see. Someone can easily tell, Connie, that if your spirit is not at peace, even the way you communicate. Even it just shows on your face. It shows on your face. Immediately, yes. If your spirit is not at peace, your communication will be off, your whole attitude will be off, your body language, the way you carry yourself. So it's important that you really make sure that your spirituality is on point. And for me, it's there's no doubt that there is a connection between your image and spirituality. Thank you. I mean, I think that sums it up. So I think to say it all, there is a connection between your image and spirituality, and I think the thing is to find your inner peace, meditate, and that's how you'll be able to function and go through whatever challenges that you need to go through. Absolutely. Great. Thank you, Mwenesi. Thank you, guys. Thanks.